brothers and soil sisters. Y'all, I got a new phone, so I was trying to figure out how to work my new phone, but I think I got it. Good morning, Soil family. I hope y'all are having an amazing morning. It is Hump Day. Today is Wednesday. If you when you coming in, if you can do us a favor and smash that thumbs up, hashtag replay and let us know. Oh, now it's working. Anyhow, hashtag replay and let us know. What's your weather like? Because it is beautiful here in sunny Savannah, Georgia. The weather is amazing. And y'all know that played a huge part in our health and healing. So get out, get some fresh air, grab you some of that sun. That's our vitamin D. And that's our peace. So step outside for a few minutes. I know some of us are homebodies, and when you're coming out of winter, it's rough trying to get back in the swing of things. But you got this. We are going to talk about self-healing today because it's real, and sometimes we need that reminder. Just receive your pain away. Good, grateful. I'm so grateful. And I'm going to talk about pain today because a lot of us, we get a lot of questions about pretty much the same things. 41 in New York. Goodness. What's up, Hoodstead? Good morning, Soil family. We get a lot of questions about some of the same things. Menopause, high blood pressure, cancer, pain. And we've gotten a lot about pain. We talk a lot about pain, but we do respect the fact that we get a lot of new followers every day. So, and people want to know, hey, how did you overcome your pain? And what pain did you overcome? Or how can we do this? And there's so many things that we can do to help ourselves. Because y'all know that the body has the ability to heal itself, right? We always need that reminder. Our body, when God designed us or created us, He created something amazing. Y'all gonna go from 39 to 71. That's crazy. Make sure you getting your fire cider and things in, because this wonky weather enough to make you sick. But He created us so that we are self-healers. Like, our doctors don't heal us. They don't want to heal us. We are self-healers. The body has the ability to heal itself. We just got to give it the right conditions. So, a couple things I'm doing this morning. Oh, I wanted to show y'all. Don't ask me why I decided to use my measuring cup. Just because it was there and it was convenient. And I was like, oh, let me put this in the measuring cup. Knowing I love my measuring cups and I probably use them every day, but I'm definitely using it every day because I put my collards in here and they are growing. I see Bobby took the flowers off because it was going to flower. Well, it was starting to flower, which will make it go to seed. But anyhow, we want it to grow, and it's growing. I harvested these the other day outside from the garden, and all I did was chop that bottom piece off. All that extra bottom I had, I chopped it off, stick it in a little bit of water, and they'll keep growing. So I just got them sitting back here doing their thing. But I am making soda. Yesterday I popped in Miss T with the tea, and she was giving away sorrel seeds. We call it hibiscus. Good morning, Jam. Linda, Shawnee, good morning, Soil family. We call, Bobby and I, when I say we, Bobby and I call sorrel or roselle Jamaican hibiscus. And it does confuse a lot of people because they like hibiscus, so they think in the regular hibiscus flower. But it's actually sorrel, and these are what the petals look like. So once we harvest our petals or our flowers, we get these little red, we pick these little red this crazy phone. We pick these little, okay, dokie. I don't know what it's doing. Pick these little red pieces off, the petals off. In the middle is your seed pod. We freeze dry them, and then we like sold out. But we freeze dry them, and then we put them in a container, so we'll have it all year. We do sell hibiscus tea blend. It's called Heart Health because it's good for the heart. All these high blood pressure and things like that, strengthening your heart, because I do put some cayenne in there. You cannot taste the cayenne, but it's called we call it Heart Health, and it's great for things like high blood pressure. So Miss T was giving away seeds yesterday, and I said, oh, well, let me make some soda. I said, hibiscus make the best soda ever. You can make cranberry or jams or just tea, juice, whatever you want to make with this. I like making soda with it. So that got to cool off though. It's just all I did was of course, make my tea. It's just water. I did sweeten this with raw cane sugar. When making sodas, you have to use sugar. You need either regular sugar or raw cane sugar because the bug needs something to eat. So I did sweeten that with raw cane sugar so that my buddy can survive. The sorrel makes a wonderful tea. I use it and lemongrass and a small amount of cayenne pepper. Tastes good. Been doing this way for about a year now. Good. That's a good combination. We're gonna talk about pain because I've gotten so many questions about pain, and most of all, what we want is you all to be pain free, and pain can be detrimental in so many ways. Like it can mentally it does play on your mind a lot. It get on your nerves, like literally, but it can rob you of your entire life, but then not rob just you of your entire life, but your entire family. And that's why I was with pain. So in 2013, I broke my back. I was working in the hospital as a nurse and I broke my back pulling up a patient, which is probably how majority of the healthcare field injure themselves. So I broke my back and I lived in a townhouse. So walking up and down stairs was booty. Get out of the way. Move back. Go. It's okay. Go ahead. Go lay down. She like, I'm trying to come lay down. I lived in a townhouse. So, and all my bedrooms were upstairs, and I was still determined to kind of live a normal life, even after that injury. But I would have problems. Trudy, I would have problems with, I couldn't tell when my leg was going to give out on me. So I would fall a lot, falling downstairs, just falling. Had surgery, and I was thinking, when I have surgery, that will correct my issues. And I won't be in pain. But I was still in pain. I ended up with nerve damage after surgery, which the nerve damage isn't as bad as the pain was. But after injections, creams, therapy, sleeping on a heating pad for years, God blessed me with my king, and I felt like I was hindering him from living because he slowed down so that I could keep up, which I felt was unfair. You know, we travel a lot and we move around a lot. My husband loved to dance. We always out walking and doing stuff, and I can do it, but I would be in pain, and he knew it. So that made him want to slow down so I could keep up. But I felt like I was robbing him of his life And he didn't complain. He would just say, like, let's sit down for a minute or let's chill out because you hurting. And I always say, oh, I ain't hurting, I'm all right. So finally one day I was like, you know what, I'm tired of hurting. I'm tired of robbing my family of their life. You know, not just myself because I'm the one dealing with the pain, but like we don't like to see our loved ones suffering, and our friends. When I say loved ones, I mean family, friends, because you all are our family also and friends. We don't want to see you hurting. So what do we do? Oh, and I was in that what can I do mode. I have lost weight before and I was still hurting. I did this, walking, exercising, stretching. What am I going to do? I'm hurting. I have this neuropathy. I can't sneeze because if I sneeze, I'm going to blow my sciatic nerve out. I'm going to the hospital, which I don't want to do. So I had all these issues. I was taking care of a friend. Like, I wanted to make sure I was living as best quality life as I could, but pain was robbing me and my loved ones and my friends of our life. So what did I do? One day I said, I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna fight for my life. And that's what it is. You know, when you live in constant pain, you in a constant fight for your life. Now the doctors again won't heal you. That's not their job. I depended on doctors for a long time until I realized I was dependent on the wrong doctor. So one morning I got up and I said, I'm gonna go for a walk. I'm gonna do some research and look into some things, see what can I do for pain, my pain. So while I was walking, I ran across some information first about cayenne pepper, and I said, man, well, the first thing I heard was cayenne can stop a heart attack, and I was like, whoa, that's powerful. Like, I know to some people it's just like, okay, cayenne can stop a heart attack, but that's powerful. Cayenne pepper? So I did my research in cayenne, but castor oil also was high on my radar. And it was just dropping castor oil in the navel because I was like, I am not drinking no castor oil. Ain't no way, no, I don't want to drink castor oil. But if it's going to stop me from being in pain, maybe I will consider it, because what I have learned to do is stop saying what I don't like and what I do, you know, and look at the benefits of things. So that's why I was with cayenne and castor oil. But with the castor oil, I did not have to drink it. You do not drink castor oil. Well, there is one that you can ingest. But the castor oil we use, which is a hexane-free cold-pressed castor oil, you do not drink it. We simply drop it in the navel. I use it on my skin. We use it for a whole lot of things. But just a few things castor oil can do for you. It is anti-inflammatory, and that is where our pain most of the time come from. Inflammation. One thing the doctors don't target majority of the time is the inflammation. Like, I met a lady one day and she said, I got both my knees replaced, but they still hurt. What, I don't know why. Well, the inflammation is still there. So let's tackle the inflammation. So with our pain away oil, she is now pain free because she is tackling the inflammation that is causing the pain. It's sad to have both knees replaced and still be in pain years later. So castor oil is anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, antifungal. It's a pain relief, can help with constipation, skin moisturizer. It can induce labor. So if you are pregnant, you definitely want to be careful with castor oil. It's great for the hair. You can detox your liver. You can heal gallstones, kidney stones, bone spurs, fibroids, tumors, IBS, all this stuff with one natural product, castor oil. Castor oil, just got out of the ER, found out I have 10 centimeter fibroid. And look, so before we even go over castor oil, we have to think about what are we feeding ourselves. Now, when it come to fibroids, I had fibroids. So I had a total hysterectomy because didn't know any better. If I knew better today, if I still had fibroids today and I knew what I knew, this is what I would do. I would definitely check my diet. All of our foods, especially, I always say in the United States, all of our foods are terrible here in the United States. So you definitely want to check your diet. What are you feeding yourself? Because we feed those fibroids. We feed this pain. We feed cancer. We feed inflammation. We feed high blood pressure every day, and we don't even know it. We think we eating and making better choices, but we are feeding these ailments. So the fibroids, we are feeding them junk. And I'll go over some ways that you can use the castor oil different. Now we drop it in the navel, and that's where I was at. I said, well, I'm gonna drop some castor oil in my navel tonight and see how I feel in the morning. So I convinced Bobby, drop some castor oil in your navel because I want you to sleep. Like I would wake up and Bobby woke, watching TV or listening to podcasts or something. And I was like, you need to sleep. I felt like he wasn't getting enough sleep, but I said, put some castor oil in your navel. I'm going to drop some castor oil in my navel, and we're going to see how we feel in the morning. The next morning, what are you trying to get, Booty? Oh, the first morning after we dropped castor oil in our navel, I woke up and I sat on side the bed. Now, I usually sit on side the bed, and I'll sit there for a few minutes. Good morning, TLS. To get myself together, because when you get up, you can't stand up straight, your back hurting. I sat up on side the bed, I felt nothing. I got up and I walked off, and I was like, wait a minute. I ain't feel that. Like my back wasn't hurting, it wasn't stiff, no soreness. I said, well, let me see. Let me see if this is, I don't know. Because, sometimes you put stuff in your head. You want something so bad, you'll put it in your head. And I was thinking, I know I want to stop hurting, but I'm not hurting. So I went on to the bathroom, went for a walk, came back. I cooked breakfast, and Bobby was standing on side the bed. And I said, you going to take a nap? He said, no, I feel like real well rested. He said, I feel like I don't need to take a nap. And Bobby usually would eat breakfast and go back to sleep. He said, no, I'm not going back to sleep. He went out in the yard, and it was like 8 o'clock in the morning. He went out in the yard and started working. He stayed out there all day. So that night, we did it again. Castor oil in the navel, went to sleep, woke up pain-free. And I was saying, man, I went for a walk this morning. I cried because I said, if God bless me enough to be pain-free just in these 2 days, I am grateful for it, because I thought I would live the rest of my life and not know what a pain-free day felt like. And here God showing me that, no. I was trusting the wrong doctor. I was trusting the wrong medicine. So I came back home from my walk. I sat around trying to figure this out, and Bobby again. Up and at it. So we decided, like day 3 or 4, let's skip castor oil at night and see how we do. Well, Bobby was up watching TV during the night, and I woke up in pain. My pain wasn't as bad as it usually is, but I was hurting. And I could feel it different. So I said, okay, if I put this castor oil in my navel tonight and I wake up tomorrow not in pain, come on. And I did. We put castor oil in our navel that night, and this was just castor oil. Just castor oil. And I said, that I'm not going to say that I never believed that herbs can heal, because I always believed in herbs. It was just, you know, when you want something, you want it, and you don't want to wait for it. You want it to happen like almost instantly. But when it comes to herbs, you got to do three things. We got to trust God, we got to be patient, and we have to be consistent. So to wake up and be pain free so fast, I was like, that's pretty amazing. But let's see where we go with this. So we went, you know, no pain. In the evenings, I would get tired. Like my back would get tired, but it wouldn't hurt. So we had already cleaned up our diet, started cleaning up our diet by growing most of our food, eating what we grow, trusting things that come from the earth. Now castor oil. So if you suffer with something like fibroids, you can rub castor oil anywhere. You can rub it on your body if you have neuropathy, on your feet. If you have back pain, you can rub it on your back, drop it in your navel. You can use it on your skin. You can use it on your hair. Rub it wherever you need it. Carpal tunnel, you want to rub it wherever you need it. If you have fibroids, bone spurs, things like that, you want to do something like a castor oil pack. If you have fibroids, I would line my a panty liner. I would put some castor oil on my panty liner and wear it. Now that castor oil has the ability to detox the body. So when you start using it in the beginning, you may find that you catch cramps, or you know, your body will detox if it need to. So the body is amazing. When you give it the things it need, it'll do what it need to do. So if it need to detox, it will detox. Hey, Miss T. So castor oil pack is just taking cotton or something and putting castor oil in it, on it. I use the paper towel on the bottom of my feet and putting it where it need to go and holding it in place. You can pull your pants up over it if you can, or they do sell castor oil packs that are designed just for that. I made tallow for the first time. Smell like beef though. Did you use salt? You got to render it down a lot of times to get that beefy smell out. So castor oil packs or panty liners. You have to be consistent, and I would do that for a good 30, 45 days, 2 months, 3 months. Be consistent with it. Be careful in what you are eating, because again, that adds to our pain and our issues too. Same thing with tumors, IBS, all that stuff. All you're doing is taking that castor oil pack and placing it where you have the issue, where it need to go. You can put it on your back for back pain. Now, we do add cayenne pepper to our castor oil. I call this better than Icy Hot or Tiger Balm. A lot of people swear by Tiger Balm. I think Tiger Balm is a joke. Well, it's full of chemicals and junk. You can do it yourself. 2 ingredients: cayenne pepper and castor oil. We just put it in a jar and leave it, and it sit there until we need it. Well, we make a lot of products, so we do use that infusion in things like our pain away. I do drop castor oil in my navel every night, daily on my face, hair, for years now. Definitely changed my diet. We do, Bobby and I both still drop castor oil in the navel at bedtime, but when we have pain, we use like our pain away oil. I got over neuropathy and all I took was a napkin, and I put castor oil in the napkin, and I sprinkled cayenne pepper on the castor oil, and I let it soak in, and I stuck that on the bottom of my foot and put a sock on, and I slept with that for like 4 or 5 days, and my neuropathy went away. Like, if you suffer with neuropathy, you know how it is. It's annoying, but hard to explain. Like, you feel like your foot is on fire. And it's annoying. So I put that on the bottom of my foot for like 4 or 5 days. I would take it off every day, every morning, and do it again at night. And about 5 days, 4 or 5 days or so, my neuropathy issues were gone. I keep flip flops on all the time because I couldn't stand to wear a shoe. I definitely couldn't stand to wear a sock because it felt like it was on fire. So I don't have those issues anymore. But what I do is I paint away. I rub paint away on the bottom of my foot maybe 3 or 4 times a month just to keep the neuropathy issue down. If you have problems on your back, you're welcome. If you have problems with your back or sciatic issues, take the pain away, rub it on your back. You have to find the source of the problem. Like most of the time you go to the doctor and you'll say, my back been hurting or whatever you have, whatever issue you have, and they'll just say, oh, well, let me give you an anti-inflammatory. Oh, just take Tylenol and ibuprofen and rotate them or whatever. Well, what is the problem? Why am I hurting? That's what I need to figure out so I can know how to fix the problem. Because all they gonna do is pacify it. What can you use to stay asleep at night? I would try castor oil. I would drop castor oil in the navel. Tried it last night. Felt good until I left the house without my orthopedic insert. Yeah, right. But just keep at it. So the thing is being patient and being consistent. Once you get to the point where you don't hurt or you don't have these feelings that you were having at first and things are getting better for you, don't stop. We have the tendency to say, oh my God, I don't hurt or I don't need this. Or you'll forget, like you forgot your insert just because you felt good. We have to keep at it so that we can heal. Because we don't want to pacify. We want to heal whatever it is. And it does take time, even though it feels like I'm not hurting. Even when I was pain-free, I was saying, okay, keep at it. Like now, I still rub pain away on my lower back and my hip and the bottom of my foot a few times a month. But I'm pain-free. And to be able to say after 12, 13 years of hurting that I'm pain-free is like the biggest blessing of them all, because I thought I would have to deal with it. And I was willing to, Trudy, move back. I was willing to, what are you looking for? I was willing to. I really had no choice. I thank God that I was able to walk and move around and still do. And I just said, I'm going to accept the fact that I'm going to hurt. I'm at the ER now because my leg is numb and I have so much pain. Yeah. Do you have our pain away oil? If you have pain away oil, you want to rub that wherever you are hurting. Your back, your lower back, your hip, rub yourself down good. If you have castor oil, rub that. The thing, and I was in the medical field for a long time. So I pushed meds and I felt like this is what we need to heal. This is what we need to stay better. Neuropathy was very painful for me where I couldn't walk. I started using castor oil. I really hurt now. If I ever start feeling any pain, I start putting castor oil on my back on my feet. Yeah, so that's the thing. We just need to rub castor oil. Now, I'm not going to say don't go to the doctor, because I'm going to the doctor. We are going to the doctor to see about ourselves. Every synthetic, every prescription these doctors write came from the earth originally. They came from what God gave us to stay well, to heal ourselves. Weeds, plants. So when you go to the doctor, I slept with castor oil on the bottom of my feet last night. It was better than it was yesterday. Good. When we go to the doctor, they prescribe us with these synthetics that just pacify. They don't heal. We want something that's going to heal us. And what's sad about what's gonna pacify us, what they give us is eating away at something else. So they'll start you somewhere and then you going somewhere else. So they'll start you on a muscle relaxer or something. They'll give you a rub, which ain't got nothing but capsaicin in it, which is nothing but cayenne pepper. It's just that we have to do a little bit of work when we get home from the doctor. But instead, we'll just go and fill his prescription and pop those pills because it's easier. But it's not easier on our body. I worked in pharmacy for 11 years and I learned so much on what the industry is doing. I'm telling you, it's all about money. They are not here to heal us. Natural science. Cayenne pepper. Look into the benefits of cayenne pepper for sinuses. I use castor oil in the area. I have tumors. Good. Keep at it. I'm telling you. I'm not saying don't go to the doctor. Go to the doctor because that's how we find out what's going on with us. But when you go home, do your research. That is the most important thing. I'm not a doctor. I cannot give you medical advice. I can tell you what I would do in these situations or what we have done for ourselves. The biggest thing is the way we feed ourselves. Our food is a whole joke. It is destroying our bodies. It's destroying our family. It's not fair because the labels don't tell us the truth. We read labels and think this is all it is, and no. The chemicals, the pesticides that they using on our plants, and we thinking, oh, I'm going to wash it off when I get home. I'll just wash this good. What are we washing? What are we washing out? So we talked about the soursop leaves the other day, and because we are out of stock, because we only trust our trees, because we know that we don't spray our soursop trees, we don't spray our trees with any chemicals or pesticides. That is our cancer fighting medicine. Why put a chemical on it to take away all the benefits of it and then say, I'm gonna wash it off? You can't wash it off. It's just like the skin. We're going to absorb this, the leaves absorb that poison that we sprayed on it. And when I bring it home and say, oh, let me wash it off, I wash it off, and then I put it in a pot of water and boil it. Guess what? You're boiling all of those chemicals into your tea, in your food. And then you're going to drink it. You're going to give it to your family members. Even though you thinking I'm doing something good for my family. So be very careful where you source your stuff. We talk about what is organic. What you grow is organic. Long as you don't spray it. But you know whether you spray it or treat it with any chemicals. So what is organic? That's why I'm hesitant to always say, when you go to the store, buy organic. What is organic? We don't know what they did to those foods out in the field. Bobby and I were in Florida last week a couple times, like 3 times. We went to Florida a lot last week, and we found ourselves just riding through these little country towns or back roads. We got off 95, and we ran across a massive cabbage farm, and the leaves out. If you saw our video about the collard greens the other day, where I talked about the things you can regrow in collards, you saw how beautiful our collards were. And Bobby got to explain to y'all what he did to get them to be so beautiful. But this entire field, like the bottom of our cabbage, the bottom of our collards and cabbage are ate up. The bugs are eating them up. That's just life. This massive cabbage farm had no pest pressure at all. Like, it looked like toy cabbage. Just big, beautiful, and perfect. In Florida, you know. So what is organic? Well, where are they growing the organic cabbage at? Because you can get cabbage from two different places in the store. You can get it from the regular section or the organic section. What's organic? So you always have to keep in mind when you purchasing things, the possibility. Because they play. I always say they play in our face. They play with our foods. That is our biggest downfall. People say sugar or whatever, fried foods, meat, all this stuff, dairy, blah blah this. Always say it's not the food itself, it's the process. It's the process. The organic stores are spraying their foods. The manager told us they were. I'm telling you, we are allergic to the process. We are not allergic to foods. It's not the food itself. Because if you grow and raise your own food, you don't use pesticides and chemicals. You know you're not, if you have dairy cows and you getting your milk from there, you making your butter, your sour cream, your ice cream, whatever you need, your cheese, trust me, you can tolerate that better than you can tolerate that crap from the store. So that'll let you see. A lot of people, they say, I can't drink milk from the store, but they go get some raw milk from a trusted farmer and they can tolerate that. So it's not the food itself, it's the process. And that's what's giving us high blood pressure, diabetes, inflammation, cancer, eczema, all these issues, wheat. And these things, they don't tell you. The research, you can Google and research and find out all this stuff. We can heal ourselves. We can come back from anything, but not with this. Not with this. Is there a site or a list of safe farmers? I'm sure there is. I just can't think of the name of it. It's a book. I need to find this book and post it so y'all can go and check out this book of farmers. I can't think of the name of it, but I'll find it and post it. The company will have a regular and an organic, and they really grow in the same. That's what I'm saying. Like, they don't grow things separately. They don't make things like, they don't make organic apple juice in one warehouse and regular apple juice in another. So when they do things like recalls, why you just, I remember when Walmart recalled organic apple juice. That's why I'm using that as an example. They recalled organic apple juice. Well, what about the rest of the juice? You got grape juice, orange juice, whatever. All these other kind of juices. White grape and peach, mango, and all these other juices up there. And you only recall, excuse Trudy, y'all, she need to come lay up here. They only recalled organic apple juice. I was like, don't buy no juice because they tripping. Ain't no way. Where are you making this organic apple juice? The only difference is the packet. That's all. That's all. So don't let them try to talk over our heads. You know, I always talk about honey. We try, and it's sad because we try to make better decisions so that we can help ourselves with things like fibroids, tumors, cancers, high blood pressure, diabetes. So we'll say, well, I'm going to start using honey, and I'll use it in moderation. So you go and get you some raw honey with the orange label. And the label says honey. When I go in the store again, I'm going to make sure I record a couple. I'm going to take a video of a couple different labels of honey. It say honey. And you thinking, oh, okay, this is raw honey. You get it. Now, honey, no two honey should ever be the same. A lot of y'all have purchased honey from us. You'll never get the same honey from us because the bees are busy. They work, and honey does not taste the same. You can go in the store and buy that same honey that with that orange label that tastes the same as it did 5 years ago when you bought that last bottle. Why does it all taste the same? Kind of weird. It all looks the same. It all tastes the same. Nothing about it is different. And it says raw honey. but they won't tell you that it's 10% raw honey, maybe, and 90% have fructose syrup. And people will switch for a better choice and wonder why I'm still suffering with diabetes, or it's worse than what it was, or I'm still hurting, or whatever it is. It's because of things like that, labels that lie. So you have to find a local source. It's a beekeeper everywhere, y'all. I'm telling you. I know we don't run across them all the time. As a matter of fact, while Bobby and I were riding through Florida, where the fake cabbage farms were, it was a whole bunch of motorcycles on side the road, and I'm nosy. I do all the driving, but I'm nosy, and I was trying to figure out why they all pulling over. And I saw a honey stand, and I said, "Oh, I wanted to go back," but I was like, "We were on a mission." I said, "Oh, I want to go back because it's a honey stand." Bobby said, "That's what that was?" I was like, "Yeah." I was excited to see a honey stand. Won't have any honey ready yet, but as long as you're on our email list, you'll get a blast. Our email list always find out when honey is available first. But there are beekeepers everywhere. We need more beekeepers in the world. It is an intimidating hobby, but very addictive, very peaceful, and it's amazing to learn how the bees are. The bees heal us. They keep us well. If you think about joining or raising bees, definitely join your local beekeeping association. You can get some hands-on training. You can see firsthand what's going on with that. And it's very affordable. I think most of them you can take like a family of 4 or something like that. And it's like $40 a year. Like our beekeeping association is $40 a year. That cover Bobby and I. We get discounts when we need things. If we need to wax our frames, we usually can go there, wax our frames. So many things we can do through your local beekeeping association. Even if you just want to find raw honey, definitely go to your local beekeeping association because they usually have honey and you can get it from them. Somebody in the association, you can get it from them. But this is what we have to do for our food. We have to grow our own, raise our own, to make sure we eating clean meat, clean vegetables, clean fruit, because they spray everything. I mean, it is what it is. They spray everything. How do we get away from it? We grow and raise as much as we can. You know, talk to your farmers. Get to know your farmers. Some of them, they can't be trusted. Some of them can. Go talk to them and get to know them. Don't look for perfect, beautiful crops because that means something may not be right. You know, sometimes things come out. We have harvested some beautiful crops. We try to catch them before the bugs get them, but sometimes bugs get to them. You know, the outside don't look as good, but that's all right. Got a lot of pain still, edge off, the pain away. So sometimes when it comes to our pain away, most of the time it'll take care of your pain issues, whatever they may be. If you have chronic injury or pain, what you'll have to do is probably use it multiple times a day. And you may have to do that for a little while, maybe a week, maybe 2 or 3 days, maybe a month. But morning, noon, and night, wherever you are hurting, trying to target this pain, rub yourself down. Work on it. Make sure you move around because that's important. A lot of times we don't move enough and we get stiff. And that's just the cause of the pain because we are stiff. Yeah, if the bugs don't want it, you shouldn't want it either. Exactly, Martha. So you just have to be patient with it, but work at it. Sometimes you can add a little heat to it, um, to help penetrate deep and get to that pain. But sometimes we have issues that just have to be taken care of. Like we know that some people have bone on bone issues. You have to go and get that fixed eventually. The pain away will make you comfortable or help you out, but you have to get that fixed eventually. That's just permanent damage that you have done to your body, and you need to get that fixed, and then you should be okay. But you may, like I said, I met a lady that got both knees replaced, and she was struggling. She said, I'm hurting still. Years later, I'm hurting. Because they usually they don't get to the root cause of it. They just say, oh, you need a knee replacement, and they're going to replace your knees, and you still hurting. My pain is just like you said. I have back bulging disc, stenosis, arthritis, and I have all this in my neck. Yeah, I have a bulging disc. Now I have degenerative disc disorder, joint disorder, arthritis. I had surgery to remove the broken piece of my spine. I opted to not have any foreign objects put in my body, because what they'll do is they'll insert these foreign objects, and then one day later down the road they'll say, oh, I need to go in and fix this, or I need to go in and tweak that, or we need to replace this. And I was like, y'all ain't gonna be cutting on me every 10 years, not even every 20 years. You're not gonna be cutting on me. So if I can live without a spacer, I will be careful, and I'll live without a spacer. And that's what I've been doing. Like I said, I went years. They would send me to therapy. I have a TENS machine. I slept on a heating pad. I have rubs, pain patch. I've had injections, all this stuff, trying to soothe the pain. And finally, I started trusting God. And now I'm staying here pain-free, with no medicine at all. Now, when you go to your doctor and you tell them, look, I ain't hurting because I've started doing this, that, and the third, they'll try to shoot you down, because that don't make them money. So when you talk to your doctor, you got to kind of hear him or hear them and not hear them, because they don't want you to not use their medicine. If you don't use their medicine, you don't give them their money. My husband is driving 2.5 hours job site. He's been complaining on this. Use the pain away. Yeah, Amy, get him to use that oil. It's probably just that sitting, for such a long time, and he probably bouncing. So get him to use that pain away oil. Cayenne, castor oil, it's a good combination. It's a great combination. So, but when they come to these doctors, and you go to the doctor and you'll say, hey, and Dale talked about, and Dale Homestead, she talked about when she went to the doctor, and when she was having issues, she had psoriatic arthritis really bad, to the point where her fingers swell up real bad. And she was getting infusions. These infusions cost thousands of dollars. But she would go get these infusions every so many weeks, and she did. She would feel a little better, and then she would go back to normal. So then she started using our wild yam cream, and she was like, man, like 3 days later, the swelling had went down. She was able to use her hands. She could open jars. She could do things that she normally couldn't do because of the pain. And so she would use this wild yam cream every day. Anytime she said, I get an ache, I'm putting wild yam cream on my knuckles. So when she went back to the doctor, she told the doctor she had started cutting herself back off of the synthetics that they gave her. And she said, look, I am better than I have been in 40 years, 30 years. So I don't think I need all this medicine and whatever. And they said, oh no, it's just the medicine finally kicking in and doing. But she stopped her medicine. So the doctors will tell you anything Long as you keep buying them prescriptions, they'll just, yeah. No, it's not the wild yam, which is something natural. Of course, he didn't prescribe it, so he not going to back it. But it doesn't make them money. So to them, it doesn't make sense. Even though it could make complete sense to them, but it doesn't make money. So they don't care. Long as you can, they stay in your pocket. And that's just what they do. Not saying all doctors are evil or mean, or they just, they doing their job, sadly. They doing their job. And they stay in our pockets and keep us pumped full of medicine. You can change that. How do I get on the email list? So at blacktropical.com, it should, when you go to our website, blacktropical.com, it should pop up to get on our email list. We do send out a newsletter, but you'll also get a blast if we have something in stock like honey. Pulled my back yesterday, woke up being able to move. I have castor oil that you suggest. Got a paper towel, sprinkle some cayenne on it, and I'm holding it on the sore spot. Good. Homestead, you don't have our pain away oil? Because that would take care of that. It feel better? Yeah. Yeah. Just be consistent with it, and be patient with it. Thank you for the stars. I'm not sure who that is. Thank you so much. Somebody sent up, and I ain't gonna be able to see it. Yes, I can. Deborah, thank you so much for the stars. Are you saying we can use wild yam cream on pain area? So let me tell you, wild yam, we make wild yam cream. We grow wild yam, and we make wild yam for hormone imbalance. When your hormones are off, it can cause pain. Your email don't work. So email us at homestead@blacktropical.com so we can help you. Okay, yeah, email us at homestead@blacktropical.com. The wild yam is designed to help with hormone imbalance. Pain can be just your hormones are off. It can be. Like when Andell would explain to me her pain, I said, well, it sounds like you got some thyroid issues. And she would say, yeah, I know I got thyroid issues. So I would tell her, well, rub it on your thyroids. Rub the pain away on the wild yam on your thyroids. And she was rubbing her hands, and it helped her. But also, her husband had shingles, and she put wild yam on his shingles, and they cleared up within 24 hours. So there are a few other ways you can use, or things you can use something like the wild yam cream for. So you can use it on pain areas. And what it may be doing is bringing your hormones in check, putting your hormones back in check so that you won't have these pains or these issues. So, our body is just one big machine that all work together. Yeah, wild yam for thyroids. Yep. And it could be all just hormone imbalance, the thyroid issues, the pain, skin tags, your hair falling out or thinning of the hair. All these issues could be a hormone imbalance. A lot of our issues are something simple. Hormone imbalance, magnesium deficiency, and it'll straighten out everything else. Yes, we'll have all of our products for SoilFamily Expo. We will not have banana pudding bites. I don't have time to make banana pudding bites. Once you get the first bottle of pain away oil, you will purchase 3 or 4 bottles. And that's what happened. Most people, they'll buy 1 bottle of pain away oil just to try it. And then they'll come back and buy like 6 bottles or 8 bottles. So, yeah, that's what happened. But it's amazing what God can do for us. We do a lot of research. It does take a lot to make a batch of our oils or anything. Like I spent a whole day making things like a few blocks of soap, a few batches of pain away, or wild yam. Well, Bobby and I both work on all these things, and we spend all day working on it. Do you think the wild yam cream will help with my arthritis? So far, Pain Away worked better than anything else I have used. Just trying to figure out what more can I. So as a human, because we live in this world that we live in, um, wild yam cream. I think we all should use wild yam cream. Can you ask it again? Because if I scroll up, it's not. I'm gonna just. I probably skip over it. So ask your question again. I'll try to look out for it. Um, the wild yam is gonna bring your hormones in check. We have these mood swings if you're going through menopause, hot flashes, like so many things. The wild yam cream can help with. One thing it won't do is it won't hurt you. It's natural. The Pain Away is helping. The wild yam cream can help also. Diabetic neuropathy pain. Definitely Pain Away for sure. That's what I use for neuropathy is my Pain Away. We don't ship internationally. I'm sorry. No, we don't. Far as the neuropathy, if you don't have Pain Away, I would take I use paper towel and I put castor oil on it, Hexine free cold pressed castor oil, and I sprinkled cayenne pepper on it, and I stuck that on the bottom of my foot. And I would do that overnight. In the morning I take it off. I did it for 3 or 4 nights, and my neuropathy went away. Like I don't have those neuropathy issues at all. Now, couple times a month, I do rub some pain away on the bottom of my foot, just so I can keep the pain away. I can wear my boots all day. I can put sneakers on. I walked around all the time with flip flops on because I couldn't stand to put a sock and a shoe on because my toes won't having it, and then when my foot feel like it's on fire, I couldn't take it. So all of that has went away, and I'm only using Pain Away oil for it. I just purchased wild yam cream, just turned 50, and I have fibroids. So all these things, cancer, fibroids, it's all a hormone imbalance. Our food system, the life itself, throw our hormones off bad. So that should help you. I would definitely start rubbing castor oil. Definitely be careful of plastics. Chicken. They say chicken because we eat a lot of chicken, but chicken is also loaded with steroids and antibiotics that when we eat that chicken, we eat those antibiotics and steroids, which treat our body funky. Like, our little kids are growing up too fast. They look like grown men and grown women. Our chickens grow out in 8 weeks also. They go from the little bitty bird to 7-8 pound chickens in 8 weeks. So when you eating, if you want clean meat, you want meat that's not full of chemicals, preservatives, all this yucky stuff, to help those fibroids. You don't want to. Some people go and have fibroids removed and then they'll come back, and in 5 years they get them removed again. No, you want to do away with that. You want that to go away and not come back. So you want to eat a clean diet. We're going to show y'all how to grow things like mushrooms. I know we have a lot of plant-based people, but mushrooms are a good way to clean up your diet sometimes, and they good. I never thought I would say that, but they are good. I'm in Savannah, Georgia, so if you're in Savannah, send me a message anyway, homestead@blacktropical.com. But we ship in Savannah all the time anyway. So if I do see an order and it's in Savannah, I'll just notice that it's in Savannah. The sad part is when you place an order, let me tell you, it's as simple as this. If you are my next door neighbor and you place an order and I don't pay attention to it and I ship your order off, your order going to go to Jacksonville and then it's going to come back to Savannah to go right next door. It's as simple as that. I don't know why they do that, but they do. I went in the store, asked for wild yam cream or wild yam Can't get it. Oh, and you in Canada. Yeah. So we only ship in the United States. You just moved back to Savannah. Okay. Yeah, well, send us a message to homestead@blacktropical.com. Um, and like I said, I can either ship your products to you or we can meet somewhere and I can drop them off. SoilFamily Expo, we will have products on hand selling them. So check out SoilFamily.com so you can be a part of the expo. You know, whether you want to be a vendor or you just want to come and visit and hang out with us all weekend, but check it out. I keep getting cysts, don't know where they come from. How can I prevent this? Castor oil. Rub castor oil on those cysts. Wherever you get your cysts, rub your castor oil on it. It's the food. It's the food, y'all. I'm telling you, simple things. Eczema. Our kids, our adults are suffering with eczema. It's simple. The food system. If we clean up our diet, and the biggest thing, before I get off here, let me go on my tantrum about wheat. Our biggest thing is wheat. People think it's the sugar. Sugar ain't good for us, but wheat is terrible. Wheat is terrible. When you go to the store and you buy White Lily or King Arthur or whoever, Food Line, Walmart brand flour, it is terrible. And most people will say, oh, I'm gonna stop eating white bread or white flour and I'll get wheat flour, which is way worse than white. It's hybridized, your body doesn't recognize it, and it throws us in all kind of crazy everything. Eczema, high blood pressure, diabetes, all this weird stuff. Take your eyesight, like your brain, you can't even think straight. Like, it's the wheat. So they created this wheat because it made more money. And this is what we get out the store in these bags. It doesn't have any taste to it. So that's why we got to season our flour when we frying chicken or when you're making something. You got to add all this stuff to it. How many people are actually taking flour and just adding some water to it and mixing it up and frying that or baking bread with it? No, you got to add sugar, or you need sugar because you need something to help the yeast activate, but you got to add salt to it. You got to add all this stuff to it. You got to give it flavor. Because flour don't taste like nothing. And it don't have no nutrients at all. None. So we just eating flour just because it coat our food good. We can make a cake with it, or we can do this with it. That wheat is terrible. It's hybridized. Our body doesn't recognize it. So it's just storing it and preserving and creating issues for us. So instead, you have to use an ancient wheat. So look up ancient grains. Einkorn is amazing. It doesn't spike the glucose. We've had people say, hey, I started using einkorn. I've lost X amount of pounds and my eczema or my kids' eczema has went away. White Lily is hybridized. Yeah, they say it's organic, but it's hybridized. All of this wheat that we purchase from the store is hybridized. You need ancient grains. I use grains to cook with. Yeah, look into the benefits of ancient grains. The wheat we purchase in the store is hybridized. Even White Lily. You know, this ancient grain is God's grain. This is what God intended for us to use, ancient grains. That's what our body recognizes and can process. It does have gluten in it, but it's a difference in ancient grain gluten in something like a White Lily. Because the ancient grain is natural. It's the original wheat. What man did, and it take a lot to grow ancient grains, but what man did was he duplicated or cloned it and decided, well, let's make a short stock where we can get a whole bunch of um, wheat off of versus a tall stock that will break in the wind, break in the rain, and we can't. The farmers are losing money. So Dr. Norman Boulay made hybridized wheat. He actually got a Nobel Peace Prize, I think in the 70s, for this hybridized wheat that we eat today. When you go to the grocery store and you buy flour, that's what you're getting, hybridized wheat. The body doesn't like synthetics. So that is like the biggest of our issue is the wheat. And a lot of us don't, I used to make bread all the time, but I stopped making bread because I was like, yeah, it's just, it's terrible. Bobby was diagnosed with diabetes, and I'm like, what in the world? Eating too much fruit causes eczema flares. If it's not original fruit, anything is possible. First of all, and again, in the stores, they spray everything. Even though it's say organic, they still spray our foods because they want it to be pretty and they want it to last. So it's possible. And I'm not gonna say it's the fruit itself. Long as it's original fruit with a seed that you can regrow. I'm not gonna say it's the fruit itself, it's the process, which is the spraying of the plant, spraying of the fruit to keep it nice and pretty, and it's crazy. The system give us our ailments. The system make us sick. This is why we got to do our own research and learn how to do things ourselves because it's crazy. Tried to order ancient grains, they were out of stock. I'm telling you, when we first started talking about making homemade sodas, we would go to Sam. We were making so much sodas trying to show people how to do it. We would go to Sam's Club and buy ginger, and then all of a sudden the ginger disappeared. The good thing is we started growing our own ginger, so that's what we depend on now for ginger. Hey, Andel, you must have heard me talking about you. So yeah, we have to pay attention now. Things are not pretty, and things are not going to be pretty for a long time. If ever again, they're not going to be as beautiful as they used to be. Few things we need to learn how to do: growing our own, raising our own, becoming our own handyman. Let me tell y'all, Bobby and I have a system around here to where he do certain things and I do certain things, but we both can pretty much do it all. You need a team when it comes to getting things done. It is so hard to do things all by yourself. A lot of people will sit and say, I don't need nobody, or I can do this, that, and the third. It is hard to do things by yourself. You need a team. We need a team. And I ain't just talking like just me and Bobby, because Bobby and I need a team too. We have a dog sitter. I told Bobby he need a yard man to help him. We need a team, but then we need y'all. Because we don't know it all. We know a lot, but we don't know everything. We have learned a lot. But it's great when you can call a friend or text a friend or reach out to somebody and say, hey, I know you know how to do this, so we can't raise cows here. We eat beef. We ain't supposed to raise pigs neither. We did. But being able to call a friend and say, hey, if I pay you to keep my cow here, or keep my pig here, or whatever we do, we need somebody. We need other people. We can't do this by ourselves. Learning. It's a lot of people that's asking us now, how do I grow my own food? How do I raise my own chickens? Eggs are ridiculous. How do I do this? That means we need each other. We need the knowledge. We need the skills. So learning things that you think, look. I grew up in a little town in Virginia. I'm the baby and the only girl of our family. I have 5 brothers. My mom and dad raised me. I went outside and played like a normal child, but I did not play with snakes, bugs, spiders. A fly couldn't fly around me without me swatting and going crazy. I went outside. Like, we went outside as kids and played and had a normal life. I did not play in the dirt. I wasn't laying out in the grass. None of that was not for me. So my husband loved the garden. He don't care about no bugs or nothing. And I decided, let me go out here and see about this life that I've fallen in love with. But what I had to do was learn how to do this and not be terrified of bugs, even though I'm still scared. I still take off running sometimes. Sometimes I just come in the house. What I do is I come in the house and hide in the bathroom. And Bobby will be like, well, dang, where you been? But we have to find a way to make it work. We have to find a way to learn. We owned dogs when I was growing up. That was it. Chickens, rabbit, and quail we own now. Chickens, rabbit, and quail. I told you I don't know how to work this new phone. Oh, this don't work. Okay, leave it alone, Sherry. Chicken, rabbits, and quail. We raise chicken for eggs mainly. We don't even raise chicken for meat anymore because it's a lot. We don't raise chicken for meat anymore, but we raise chicken for eggs. We have quail for meat and for eggs. We raise rabbit for meat, and it's amazing. Without Bobby, I still be buying all my stuff from the grocery store and trying to figure out, why is my blood pressure high? Why is my back hurting? Why am I tired? Why is this? Why is that? Because God knew exactly what we need. I needed somebody that was about this life to introduce me to this life. And that's what God gave me. I needed somebody that was financially strong and loved living off the land. I didn't know I needed that, but God knew I needed that. So he gave me Bobby. At first, I was just like, okay. I'm the little girl that grew up in this little city. I ain't putting my hands in no dirt. None of that. I ain't touching no chickens, nothing. Well, years later, this is what I do. And I know some people back home probably say, that ain't Sherry. That is not the Sherry that I know. It's not. Well, I ain't going to say this is not Sherry. What wasn't Sherry is the woman I was, or the child I was growing up. Things that I was doing, those things were not me. Now I feel like I'm walking in my purpose. When you find your purpose, I love living off the land. I love creating products. I love helping people heal themselves. These are the things we love. I feel like we walking in our purpose. Bobby seemed very happy. It seemed like he loved what he do, because Bobby go outside. I'd be like, yo, you coming in the house to eat or what? So don't let other people make you feel like, that ain't you. Why would you get chickens? Or why are you growing this food? That's not you. You need this. You need this. We need these skills. We need each other. And again, God will put you in people's lives and you be like, why? Why? Eat the meat, spit out the bones. Gain all the knowledge you can gain. Get all the skills under your belt. You're going to need them. Life-saving, financially, mentally, emotionally. Teach your kids. Teach your kids. Because our kids don't know. They don't know. Our food just come from the grocery store. They don't have a clue. I asked a friend one time if she wanted some eggs. She said, no. At your backyard? I said, yeah. She said, no. No. And I was like, why? She said, no, girl, I got to get my eggs from the store. What? I said, these are the best eggs. She said, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. I get my eggs from the store. Well, guess what? You can only, I mean, how should her kids feel? Because if she feel like it's wrong to get eggs out of your backyard, what is she going to teach her kids? So we have to teach our kids. I gave a bread class a few months ago here in Savannah, and I told her I was so happy to see kids in class. I was like, it's good. I'm glad to see kids here. And I told them, I said, y'all stop putting these kids out of the kitchen. And the little boy looked at his mama. I said, he just told on you. We put our kids out of the kitchen. And I know we do it sometimes for safety reasons, but we need to find a way to bring our kids back in the kitchen. Take those kids out there. Let them get dirty. Put their feet on the grass. We got kids terrified of grass, terrified of dirt. Won't even let their feet or hands touch it. We won't let our kids get dirty. Look, my mama didn't tell us don't go out there and get dirty. We just went and got dirty, came home, and she washed our clothes. That's all. Now, we don't want our kids to get dirty. Oh, they're allergic to grass. They ain't allergic to grass. They're allergic to the chemicals that they putting on our grass. They're allergic to whatever you hired somebody to come out here and put in your grass to make it grow nice and green and pretty. We weren't allergic to grass growing up. It ain't the grass, it's the process. Get those kids out there. Teach them that this is where your food comes from. Let them pull them carrots. Look, dirt ain't never hurt none of, most of us that ate dirt pies and dirt cakes and dirt cookies or just dirt, period, growing up. We all right. We all right. Our issues just getting crazy now because the system getting crazier. Let them kids pull them carrots out the ground and bite it. We make it seem like it's a crime if they pull a tomato off our plant and don't wash it first. I remember growing up eating blackberries straight out off the bush. And it might be a wild bush somewhere. We had a blackberry patch in the neighborhood I grew up in. And grandma would let us go to the blackberry patch and pick blackberries, and she would put some sugar in a bag. We all had a bag of sugar, put our blackberries in there. We wash them. They didn't even make it home to wash them. I'm okay. I might be a little cray-cray. Might have did a little crazy things back in the days, but it's growing up. But I'm okay. Now, come on. Exactly. Apples straight off the tree. Like, we ate stuff straight off the trees. I love going outside and just picking stuff off the plants and eating it in the yard. It is hard in the apartment, but it's not impossible. And so we don't want the system to keep us in that headlock where we feel like, I was telling my brother that. I said, what they know is we don't have time. We ain't got patience. So we go to the store and get what we need because it saves us time and we get it right then. We have to take the time. We have to have patience. Even in an apartment, you can grow in a small space. I talk about Healthy G-Mom, and G-Mama grows, she grew in a small space. Healthy G-Mom passed away a couple months ago, but you can go back and watch her videos, and she showed you her growing in a small space. G-Mama grow in a small space also. So you can do it. You be surprised, y'all, what you can do. We're going to show y'all some growing inside in a small space. Where can I find seeded grapes in New York? So you got to look for them. You just got to look for them. Seeded grapes are hard to find, but those are the best. You want to eat the seeds and all because that's your cancer medicine. That's your medicine. I'm telling you, our food is our medicine. Our food is our medicine. But do your research in all these things we talked about. It's very important for you to know. Don't take nobody's word off of anything. No two people are the same. Yeah. Healthy G Mom passed away on. Yep. So my apartment is 800 square feet. So you know who you should talk to? She is in the chat. The Hoodstead. The Hoodstead. How big was your apartment? And she grew all of her groceries. She grew a lot of things in her apartment. And I think it was less than 800 square feet. What is a good potting soil? I'm not sure. I did see potting soil. I don't know if I saw potting soil at Costco's on sale. I'm not sure. 180 square foot apartment with no kitchen. She canned, she cooked, she grew her groceries in 180 square feet. So the Hoodstead can definitely help you out with that one. So don't feel like small space holding you back. You can still get some things done. So definitely hook up, connect with the Hoodstead. Go check out some of her videos. Preferably the MIG grow off video. But yeah, she can show you how she did it. She is in a bigger space now, but still, how your banana plant doing, the Hoodstead? She took a banana plant home, was that last year, from SoilFamily Expo, and she was growing a banana plant in her bedroom window. And it was not a small banana plant. It was a nice size. And she is up north, so it is a lot of struggle and a lot of work, but she was getting it done. Hey, sis. Hey, S&MJ Garden. So just know, small space will not stop you. You can do it, but you just need to do it a little differently. Don't let the system make you feel like I can't do or I don't have time. Look, I've been standing here running my mouth, y'all. I'm making soda. It take time. All I got to do after I do this is put my ginger bug in here, fill my jars up, and let it sit. I got time. I put him in a corner, and he hated it. So I'm trying to get him back to his glow. Oh, okay. Yeah, they can be like that sometimes. But we have time, y'all. We have time. Let me get my ginger bug out the refrigerator. Look, and y'all know how Bruce be showing off. For all the new people, meet Bruce. Bruce show off all the time. I don't know what it be with him in these tops, but Bruce is always tearing tops up. He always need a new top. So this is my ginger bug, and I'm trying to turn it so you can see. In the bottom, that's just ginger and sugar. That's what he eat all the time. So I'll have to feed my ginger bug to my tea, and I'll make soda. But yeah, Bruce be tripping. I don't know why he's so mad, but yeah, he ain't having it right now. I just took it out the refrigerator. But he has buckled the top. And he is very active. Starting your ginger bug today. Good. Where do you get your bottles? So all of my bottles came from Amazon. I actually have, you talking about my Precious Safe bottles, and I'm actually working on a course for ginger, a complete guide to soda making. We have 3 different size bottles. This is the smallest bottle. This is the biggest bottle. This is the one I use the most. This 8 ounce for soda. So we got all our bottles from Amazon. I know some people say they find them in different places, the Dollar Tree, or I've never used those. I'm very picky about our bottles because this pressure is crazy, as you can see. Bruce has buckled this. and very active. So you just got to take the top off it slow. But yeah, the big bottle. I got out my local Dollar Tree. Yeah, so I see a lot of people say they find them in the Dollar Trees or different places. You need a store. Thank you, sis. I don't know about a store. Whew, I don't know about a store. But what we are gonna do one day is we're gonna come home. I've been talking to my brother, one of my brothers, a lot, Ross, about all the things we do. And I told Bobby, I said, what we need to do is go home one day so y'all can experience some of this stuff, homemade stuff that we do, and we can take our time and talk. So we're gonna plan that soon. We got a lot of stuff coming up. We'll be in West Palm in May, so we'll have a calendar eventually. We'll start filling up our calendar. We have SoilFamily Expo coming up April 4th through the 6th. So you can check that out at SoilFamily.com. We'll be in West Palm, Florida, the end of May. And we'll probably find a spot where we can do a meet and greet for a couple hours there. Oh my God, we got so many trips, y'all. I can't even think straight. I know we'll be Petals from the Past, was just announced yesterday. We'll be there September 20th, 3 days before my birthday. We'll be at HOA, Homesteaders of America, in Front Royal, Virginia, in October. I skipped all of summer because I'm not sure exactly when we'll be where. But we'll be all over the place. We have meet and greets. We are thinking meet and greets in Virginia. I'm thinking New Orleans, even though Bobby still ain't convinced. Florida, Alabama, Tennessee. Yeah, a lot of moving around. But we'll definitely keep y'all posted. HOA tickets, I think I sold out. Y'all coming to Louisiana? I want to. So we have to convince Bobby that Louisiana we need to come to. Because I do want to come to Louisiana. I want to come to Louisiana like soon. Good. Y'all going to HOA too? Oh, we're going to spend a whole lot of time together this year then. Good. We need to come to Texas. Noted, Tina. So the plan is to move around because, again, community is important. And even if we just say, hey, we at Walmart parking lot, we'll be here for 2 hours from this time to that time. We'll figure it out. Victoria will be in Alabama September 20th. I know that date. When I come home, we'll be in Virginia. I'm not sure when we'll be in Virginia, but we working on Virginia now. My birthday is September 20th, and my daughter is the 23rd. Melissa, my birthday is September 23rd. Oh my God. You coming to SoilFamily Expo? Good. Let me tell y'all, no matter where we cross paths, we would love to meet y'all. Can you create a calendar of homestead events just so? Okay, I'll talk to my assistant. Our assistant is a lifesaver because I'm always like, I think our assistant started a calendar where she put in events that we have because we have events in Savannah coming up. We have events all over the United States coming up. And eventually we'll have events outside the country. But right now I'm scared to get on a plane. So we're going to stay grounded and only drive where we can drive to right now. So we will have a calendar where you can keep up with us moving around throughout the summer. So it's going to be fun. But definitely get to know each other. We need each other a whole lot more than we can ever imagine. Okay. He done finally calmed down. Look at this top. This is what it should look like. And this is what it do look like. Because Bruce can be a little pushy sometimes. So I have to wait till it's cool off before I add him to it. But I'm scared to fly right now. We'll fly in a little while. We'll fly in a little while, not right now. So, yeah. What about the Chicagoland area? My dad grew up in Chicago. Chicago pizza do sound good right about now. Chicago style pizza. So, yeah. We spell this brew Brewce. Brew. So, yeah. I will be offering you my neck. You know Andell gonna hug everybody neck. You know how she do. Can't beat New York style pizza. So the thing is, like, let me tell y'all, we can argue all day about food, but Chicago style pizza ain't got nothing on New York style pizza, and vice versa. Now what you can't get is a Philly cheesesteak in the South and expect it to be a Philly cheesesteak from the hood in Philadelphia. It's just like getting Cajun or Creole food in Virginia. It ain't the same. It just ain't the same. So yeah. Y'all, heal yourself. Do your research and all we talked about and so much more. Skills are skills. We need as many skills as we can get. We need all of these skills. We're going to talk about them. We're going to talk about them all the time. We're going to talk about how you can heal yourselves, new things that we learn, new things that we hear. We're going to always talk about it because we can do better. You from Chicago? We can do better. We have to do better. And at this point, we have to look out for each other and ourselves. We got to look out for ourselves first. Because if we don't look out for ourselves, we can't do nothing for nobody. Once you heal yourself, you can go on and start healing your family and your friends and helping them out. Once they see you do it, because most of the time when you talk to people and say it, they like, look, she tripping or he tripping. But when you do it and you say, hey, I got that neuropathy. I kicked neuropathy's butt. I cured myself from cancer. I healed my pain, my blood pressure. I reversed my diabetes. Once you show them that you did this, they're going to want to know, what did you do? How did you do this? So then you can teach them. And you have to let them know. I know we are human. It does take patience. You got to be consistent. You got to leave some space to be normal and live. Like when we traveling, we eat. Look, I ain't coming to New Orleans to be like, oh, I can't eat this beignet. I'm going to eat that beignet. My body may not be so happy with me, but I'm going to eat that beignet because I am human. I'm a human. And I like what I like. But I'm going to eat a beignet. Instead of eating like a whole bunch of beignets, I'll just cut it down and eat probably 10% of what I would. And not to go full speed ahead. So you got to leave some space for life. So when you out and about, you can enjoy life. SoilFamily Expo weekend, I'm going to eat. I don't know if I want waffles, but I'm going to definitely eat my chicken for sure. Getting potatoes to grow bigger. So with potatoes, I only give my potatoes bone and blood meal when I first plant them, and then maybe 45 days in middle, somewhere in the middle, 45 days or so, I'll give them a little bit more blood and bone meal, and that's it. And pretty much water them every 10 days or so, and we get small and big ones. But I just don't know how to make them bigger because I eat them all. I'm a potato baby. That's why I'm so fluffy. I'm a potato baby. But yeah, take discipline. But don't beat yourself up. Still live life because you don't want to feel like a hermit. And you want to be so strict on yourself because that can make you lose faith in all too. So still live your life a little bit, but keep in mind that, hey, I'm healing myself. I'm working for the Lord. I'm healing myself. You got this. You got this. If you have any questions, Homestead at blacktropical.com is where you send your questions to, and we will get to them. Great compost and soil. So Bobby said great compost and soil. Bobby, so when it comes to growing our groceries, Bobby is the soil man. He take care of he try to keep up with taking care of the soil before we put seeds or anything in the soil. Even though I'll plant potatoes in a 5-gallon bucket and cardboard box, he try to make sure I'm putting it in good soil first. So I'm getting better at communicating with him before I drop seeds. Like the other day, I was so excited because I saw my calendula and echinacea sprouting in my bed, but Bobby got my soil straight, so I know they're gonna be some monsters. I think I'm gonna put some marshmallow out there today, seeds. I'm gonna call my husband first and make sure, because I put my lavender plant in my tea bed, and Bobby was like, "Why did you put that there?" And I said, "Oh, it's the tea bed." And he said, "No, he said that thing gonna be huge, and it's gonna take up all this space, and it's gonna shade out everything else." So he took it out. So now I need to figure out what can I put in my tea bed with my echinacea and calendula flowers. What's a good soil we can purchase? So we like hummus compost. We get our hummus compost from Soil 3, but it's a big, huge yellow bag. A 18-wheeler will come and drop it off. It's huge. I'm not sure how much is in there, but it's huge. Our source for lion's mane is North Spore. Babe, if you can drop the link for North Spore, he should have it. Hey, J3GS. But we'll teach y'all how to grow your own mushrooms. I know it can be complicated. A lot of people make it complicated. They don't tell you the simple way of being able to grow your own mushrooms. You can grow lion's mane yourself. We don't offer the tincture yet, but we will have a tincture soon. I'm glad I said that, because we have a lion's mane tincture here that we take every day. You know, this is great for the brain. But we want you to grow your own lion's mane. It is amazing. You can make the best crab cakes. You can make the best steak. You can make the best chopped chicken with lion's mane. It's amazing. But we are working on a video on how to grow your own lion's mane, so we'll share that with you. But we do have a link for North Spore, and that's where you can get the kit from. So simple, y'all. You'd be surprised at how you can do this. And within 7-10 days or so, you'll be harvesting your own mushrooms right at home in your house. You don't need logs and all this stuff. Because if I had to go through all that, I'll never grow mushrooms. Bobby will grow them, because I think he's going to start growing them in logs. But if I have to do it, it'll never get done. So do your research. We have ginger bug, all things homemade soda coming out soon. So look out for that. If you place orders today, orders did go out yesterday. If you placed orders, so check your email. If you place orders, sometimes you have to check your spam, and that's where you'll find your details for that. He having problems copying. Okay. Oh, let me see. I might be able to do it. I forgot, y'all. I broke my phone. It's nice and cracked up. It wouldn't work, but what I did, I felt like a little kid. I got out of the car the other day, and I jumped over a water puddle. Bobby was like, "Why are you jumping over water puddles?" We don't sell rabbit poop. No, we don't sell our rabbit poop. We use it. I didn't jump over the water puddle, but I tried to hop over it a little bit, and my phone fell out my pocket, and it fell right on the face in the water puddle. So it wouldn't work. I had to get in the car to call Bobby. My phone wouldn't work. So I went and bought a new phone, but now this phone is working. And I was like, oh, well, that's pretty cool. So I can give y'all the link for mushrooms. What is this? Right quick. And then, but anyhow, I want y'all to do y'all research when it comes to pain, castor oil, healing yourself. All this stuff is amazing information, but it's so much more out here. Mushroom kits. It's so much more we can do for ourselves. Again, it is, I know it can be time, and time can be an issue, but don't let time get you off your block and not heal yourself. Depending on these doctors, depending on other people to heal us, it's never going to work. They will pacify for the time, but that's about it. Have a question. Made kombucha 2 days ago. So it's fermenting. The SCOBY has been floating, but this morning it's at the bottom. Well, I'm not gonna say it's not good, because sometimes my SCOBY will go to the bottom too. So I would check it in about 7 days to see, long as there's no mold or anything. It should just give it some time. It should grow its own SCOBY, and that may be what it's doing. But sometimes my SCOBY will go to the bottom too. I know all of my SCOBYs are at the bottom because they heavy in my SCOBY hotel. But give it time and see what it do. But it should be fine. It should be, and it should grow its own SCOBY in the top anyway. So just keep your eye on it. All right, so I just dropped the link for mushroom kits. You can get there, and they are so simple. All you do is cut an X in that kit and spray it 2 or 3 times, and you're good to go. Love castor oil and cayenne pepper. I'm definitely noticing a change on how I feel. Thank you for the knowledge and sharing. Good. Just be consistent with it. So 3 things, y'all, before we go. Trusting God first. Trusting God. We always have to trust God. If we don't trust God, we got some issues. So you want to make sure you trust God in all things. You want to be patient. We didn't get this way overnight, so it's going to take time for us to heal ourselves. And then we want to be consistent. Don't let up. When you start feeling better, and I saw a lot of y'all saying that, hey, I started using the pain away or castor oil or cayenne pepper and I feel great. Don't let up. Be consistent with it. Keep at it. It is natural. We are healing things that we don't even know going on in our body all the time. We don't even know these things are brewing, and we are healing things. So keep at it. Don't let up off of it. Keep healing yourself. Keep healing yourself. Good. You purchased the supplies to make Castile soap. So let us know if how your process is. If you purchased our Castile soap class at blacktropical.com, make sure you send us pictures when you make your soap. Sometimes your soap, especially in the beginning, it may not show. I don't have any soap in here. It may not be as clear as ours is sometimes. Sometimes my batches are not clear, and it drives me crazy. But it's okay for it not to be as clear all the time. If you add an essential oil, it won't be as clear. So it's okay for it not to be clear. I appreciate you, Brew Life. Thank you for the stars. We appreciate you. Let me hit that heart. I think. I can't. I don't know how to do that. Thank you. There we go. Thank you so much for the stars. But yeah, send us pictures. If you have any questions during the process, always email us homestead@blacktropical.com, and we'll try to help you out or walk you through as much as we can. I'm going to be starting cayenne shots work on my high blood pressure. Good, good. You got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere. And let me tell y'all, for me to think about giving up something like fried chicken, and I know fried food ain't good for you and all this good stuff. I love fried chicken. But you got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere. You know, take your cayenne pepper, go for a walk, get out there, get some fresh air, get some sun. Start somewhere, and it's going to be all right. And there, that's the wrong one. That's yours. Our email is homestead@blacktropical.com. And Dale's is different. I don't want to confuse y'all. But I want to start making my own soda. How to make Bruce. Yeah. And when this next course that come out, it'll show you how to grow your own ginger, harvest your own ginger, make your ginger bug, make soda, any kind of soda you want to make after that. So and that's one, I think that's an important skill, because majority of us, a lot of us like soda. No, a lot of us love soda. You'd be surprised at what you can do naturally and how fulfilling it is to make your own soda at home. So we thought it was important to have a course with it all in one package to be able to make your own sodas for your family. And then when holidays come around, or look, y'all get ready to start having cookouts and all that good stuff, you'll be able to take some soda for your family to try. We love taking sodas for our family to try and watching their reactions. We are on the East Coast. It is 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So y'all do your own research. Heal yourself. Life is great. Learn how to grow and raise your own. Find you a trusted farmer, because the labels lie and we can't trust this stuff in the store. So y'all have a blessed day. Do something you love today. Get outside, drop a seed or two, or at least get some knowledge so you can get ready to drop a seed or two. And have an amazing day. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for hitting the thumbs up, sharing this out, all the stars, the super chats, all that amazing stuff. We appreciate y'all. It definitely show support, and we love that. So truly like, woo, finally. Y'all have a blessed day, and don't let nobody steal your joy. You was waiting for me? What's up, boo? Where you want? You go somewhere?